Hello Year 5 and thank you for joining me for my Year 5 English Masterclass. Now my name's Miss Ellis and I'm an English teacher at the Emmbrook School. Now obviously normally you'd be joining me in my classroom on the bottom floor of the English block, but actually today it's not possible, so right now I am in my kitchen. Now I want to look at some Greek myths today, which you may have come across before. And I think they're really beautiful ways that the Greeks tried to understand the world around them. There were lots of things that they didn't understand, lots of things that their science couldn't yet explain. So instead they came up with these beautiful stories to help them to work out what was going on around them. And a big one, well, we're going to look at one of my favourite ones actually. Okay, so first of all, have a look at this picture. You might want to pause this video. It's quite a famous picture. So what do you think is coming out of the box? And what is the woman trying to do? Have a really close look. You might want to zoom in. As I said, pause the video so that you can get a much closer look if you want to. Right, if you're ready. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go on to the next one. Here it is. So also, what about this picture? What do you think is coming out of the box here? Now notice here that the colours are really different, black and white. Does that change how you feel about this picture? And also, what does it look like the woman's trying to do here? Again, if you need to, pause the video, and that will help you, give you time to have a much closer look. You ready? Sure? Okay, right then, let's keep going. Okay, so this is the big question. Have you ever heard of Pandora's box? It's a phrase that you hear a lot, but actually I want to today tell you a little bit about where it comes from, and then we're going to have a go at using this idea in some of our own writing. So, really, the Pandora's box lowdown is that it's a Greek creation myth. Now, the idea is that Pandora was the first woman on earth. She was very lucky, and she was given gifts by the gods, an amazing gift. She was meant to be beautiful, charming, amazing, beautiful talent, musical talent even. She was very clever, and she could do all kinds of amazing things, because the gods made her really almost perfect. However, for some reason, I've never quite worked out why, but Zeus, who's meant to be the father of the gods, gave Pandora a box which contained all the evils in the world, such as disease and misery and death. And he gives her these instructions, helpful. He tells her not to open it, and he's very clear about this and says that it's really, really important that she leaves it alone and doesn't touch it. However, curiosity gets the better of Pandora, and you can kind of understand why. I think often if someone gives you something and tells you not to look at it or not to do it, it makes you want to do it even more. And Pandora had exactly the same problem. So curiosity gets the better of her and she just can't resist opening it. Right? And she opens the box and all of these ills escape. So into the world comes disease and misery and death and all the kind of miserable things that we have. However, Pandora is desperately clutching at things and trying to grab them and get them back in the box. And the only thing she manages to save, the only thing she manages to keep in the box is hope. Right? Which is actually quite a beautiful story, I think, and a way to explain why there's sometimes some not so nice things that go on. Right? But the fact that actually we always have hope left in the box. Right? So even when we're faced with something that's not very nice, there's a lot of hope. Okay? So that's how the Greeks explained some of the ills of the world. And the Pandora's box image has become really famous. It can help. It stands for someone that's very curious. Can also mean someone that really can't resist temptation. But also Pandora's box has also come to mean something that you open, and you don't know what's going to come out. Okay, you don't know what's in there, and it's a mystery, and it could be good or bad. And unfortunately for Pandora, it was really quite bad. But why is this important? Obviously, I'm an English teacher. And today I'm talking to you about a Greek myth that's thousands of years old. But we still think about it today. And you might have come across a few of these things. So if you've ever read the Percy Jackson novels by Rick Riordan, The Last Olympian, the final Percy Jackson novel, they have Pandora's box. It's one of the things they have to discover and look after. Okay, so it pops up in novels still now. There's also a game which you might have come across, Professor Layton and Pandora's Box, which again is actually pretty modern. And so it's one of these things that still appears today, and we come across it in a lot of things. It's such a famous image. The last thing as well, which I popped in there, is Frankenstein, which you might have heard of. Now, Frankenstein was a doctor who created a monster. He desperately wanted to kind of create life, and he did. But actually, Frankenstein creates his own sort of Pandora's box, because the monster is his own person and he's alive, and he goes off, and actually Frankenstein can't control him, just like Pandora couldn't control all the things that she let out of the box. Mm-hmm. But now that you're a bit more familiar with the story of Pandora's box, okay, I want you to try and do something with it, because it's one thing knowing about it, but it's another thing actually being able to do something with it yourself. Okay, so here are 2 ideas. Okay, now, in the English department at Emmbrook, we love our creativity, okay, and we love doing bits of creative writing. And actually, so I thought this might be a good way for you to kind of get involved. So what I'd love you to do is to write a story that features Pandora's box. How it's included is entirely up to you. You could take a bit of inspiration from Rick Riordan and the Percy Jackson novels, and Percy Jackson has to go and find Pandora's box and rescue it. Okay, it's entirely up to you. Be as creative as you like. I don't want to give you too many ideas, because I want to hear your own ideas. I don't want to read a load of stories that are exactly the same. Or, actually, if you fancy it, maybe write a story in which curiosity gets the better of someone. And where Pandora's curiosity made her open the box, and it turned out to be a really very bad idea. Okay, so maybe write a story which actually does the same thing for you. Okay, what happens when curiosity gets the better of someone? Are the results good? Are the results bad? Okay, there are no rules at all. You can write it in first person, third person, past tense, present tense, whatever you like. The only rule is that you must use your imagination. Okay, that's it. That's what I want to see. Okay, so once you've had a go at your story, I would of course love to see them. Okay, so please let me have a look. You find my email address on the screen here. It's kellis@emmbrook.wokingham.sch.uk. So please drop me an email with your stories, or a picture of your story, or however it is that you want to send it to me, because I would love to see them. Okay, and I'd be really excited to see what you have managed to produce. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I know it's a bit of a basic video. I'm quite new to this, but I'm getting better slowly but surely. So yeah, please let me see what you've got, and hopefully we can get some really good creative writing. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.